that their suggestion on solving the problem or how it should have been handled is communicate, talk. But when a man tries to communicate and talk, his feelings are often dismissed. They often interrupt him. They often tell him he's lying. They often start, deflecting and referring the conversation elsewhere. So a lot of times that is impossible to do. That's why a lot of men resort to silent treatment. That's why a lot of men stop trying to share their thoughts and feelings. That's why men start operating in ways where he's just trying to avoid drama or argument with his woman. He doesn't tell you what he really thinks and feels. He doesn't really give you feedback. And when a man is in that mind state and when that's happening, your relationship is not growing. He's not really fulfilling his role in the relationship because he doesn't have somebody that he can effectively communicate with. There's no way for a corporation or some business to operate if the management is not communicating with one another. And so if two people in a relationship, you just being able to express what pisses you off and how you feel and tell your perspective, that's not effective communication. Because I state all the time that just based off the setup of dating, men have to pay a lot more attention to women than women typically pay to men. Women don't have to pursue men. Women don't have to deal with rejection. Women don't really have to adjust their personalities for the most part. They have to look cute and choose from the men that approach them. And so that puts them at a disadvantage when it comes to the dating game, because the smart men, the men that have their shit together, are a lot more polished. They have a lot more experience, and their perspective, their point of view, or their position in the dating. The typical dating scenario allows him to go into it making sure that he's already eliminated certain things. He's already pre-screened you before he ever hollered at you. And so that's an advantage that a man has based off of accepting the risk of being rejected. Men have to deal with getting embarrassed and being rejected and those type of feelings a lot more than women. And in exchange for that risk that they take, they put themselves in a position to always be able to holler at women that they find attractive. And so that's kind of where you see the difference between the success rates of men and women, because even a man that's a fuckboy is able to effectively communicate, learn what a woman likes and dislikes about men, let her vent about her exes, and he knows exactly what role to play to be able to get what he wants out of her. That's essentially what fuckboys do. They let you vent, let you talk about niggas ain't shit and how your ex wasn't shit and how everybody else is so wrong. All he has to do is tell you he'd never do that, lead you to believe that he's not like that. Next thing you know, you fucking him, and now you expected him to be this real man that he never really had the credentials to be. And so when we're talking about dating and where people go wrong, it's usually because of how fast women try to make the dating process. Y'all jump into relationships. Y'all meet a new guy and start instantly making plans or coming up with this vision of y'all being together without even going through the proper dating phase.
And you also try to change this man into what you want him to be. So a person is going to remain a person. Yeah, growth happens, over a period of time, but a person is going to remain who they are regardless. If that's not the type of person you want or desire to be with, you can't say, okay, I'm going to work with him to mold him into the man I want him to be. Like, no, you don't mold him into the man you want him to be. If you're a good woman and you and that person go through the dating phase, because he's not the person that he was when we first married. Like, essentially the key concepts, the things that he has that I felt were noteworthy to be a husband were there. But as a man, he has grown into the man he is today. So I knew that would happen with natural transition, growing up, experiencing life, kids, things that naturally change the person that you are. But if that person shows key concepts that you think you just can't work with or that you're going to change, you already starting at a fault. Like, you need to move on if that's not what you desire. Not say, oh, I really like him, he has all the key features that I want, but I wish he would change this, and this about himself. moving to find somebody that is your complement, and let a bitch that desires a man that has these qualities work with that man.
Yeah, a lot of people say that a lot of women want a woman in a man's body because a lot of women complain about men doing normal male things. They complain about men acting like men, and I often point out that how much of a problem it creates when a woman judges everything a man thinks and does based off a female value system. Men and women feel differently about things. They handle situations differently. And so, if a man can explain to you why he did something, what his thought process was, that gives you the opportunity to be able to figure out whether he had good intentions or not. If he can explain to you why he made a decision or why he made a choice based off the information that he had, based off the feeling or the mood that he was in, if he can give you an explanation on why he did what he did, and there was no, I'm trying to be petty, I'm trying to hurt her, I'm trying to teach her a lesson, none of the shit that we see women constantly do. You know what I mean? So when you're mad at your man for doing normal male things, you're going to constantly have problems with him. Because if that was reversed, if he had problems with you for just being a woman, you would have a problem with that. So that's a very unfair and hypocritical stance for a woman to be in, because a man is never going to think and operate like a woman. And
that's not true. Some men think just like some hoes out here.
Okay, let me rephrase that.
Too.
The men that y'all want to be with is never going to think and act like a woman. A quality man is never going to think and act like a broad. They can identify men that do, but we can't give you insight on why they act like that. They probably was raised by their mom. You know what I'm saying? Like, there could be a lot of reasons why.
There ain't no reason, because he was raised by his mom. I mean, he lacks a woman can raise a strong man with no issues. Okay, that has nothing to do with
not by herself.
Yes, she can, because he
had to have some males in his life.
That's different than what you said. There could be a strong mother, okay, because I'm a strong woman that was raised by my father. So the characteristics that I have is not of a typical woman, you know, most of the time. My thought patterns and the reasons that I do what I do and how I behave, the reason I behave how I behave is mainly because I was around a man most of the time. However, if I was raised by a female, a strong-rooted female that had the same values as one of a man, I would still, and a man could also get that from a woman. She would make sure, a good woman would make sure that he had exposure to positive men that were in his foundation. So being raised by a woman has nothing to do with how pussy a nigga behaves. That's him. It's rooted in him from the beginning. Somebody was too soft for him, whether it was a woman or a man. Somebody didn't hold him accountable for his actions as a young boy, and this just developed into a pattern that he now feels like he's entitled to these certain things. So he's whiny. He does little sneaky shit because he's seeing people do it, and that's just it's either in you or it's not. You either have that rooted in you, where you a hoe ass nigga, or you not. Period. Like that's something you foster from the very, very beginning, and you can see it happening from the beginning, whether a man is raising him or female. There's a lot of men out there that raise some hoe ass niggas. Okay? And there's nothing you can do about that except for try to make sure that you're disciplining your children the right way and showing them how they should effectively make decisions, how they should come to logical decisions, how it's not acceptable to put people out there. Some parents behave in that manner in front of their children, and their children going to have that same concept and deal with issues in the same manner that the same irresponsible manner that they parents dealt with the situation, which don't help. The cycle is not broken. It continues, and now you have a hoe ass nigga out there fucking over women because you didn't teach him how to make effective decisions.
Alright, so I think is there anything else y'all wanted to bring up about this soul food post before we move on? Let me turn Justice ears. Got a little nippy in here. Is the air on? The AC, I got it.
Turn your seat on. Lower.
All right. So, let's see. Guess we can take a couple questions. If y'all have a question or you have something you'd like to add to the conversation, go ahead and post it now, and we'll go ahead and give our 2 cents on the topic. Let's see. Oh, the big booty chick Lim was dancing with at the wedding. Yeah, man. I see now that I put up that clip, I'm gonna have to go back and watch Soul Food again, man. That is.
Lim was gonna get that ass waxed.
Yeah. Now he was out of line for doing all that at the wedding, like that. That was a damn fool move. Yeah, man.
Because you always gonna be attracted to other people. Otherwise, I don't know what's wrong with you. You love somebody and still be attracted to other people. I see men all the time, and I'm like, he's an attractive man. Do I go up there and be grabbing on him and stuff, trying to holler at him? No, he's attractive from afar. He's some eye candy I'll look at from afar. That's all. You know, I have eyes, I can still see. You know, so that's something that a lot of women are be jealous about, and I can't understand that, because sometimes, you know, him and I will be walking, and a woman will pass that's fully loaded in the back, dragging major wagon, and I know I got a nice looking booty. It's juicy too, and I'll be looking like, God damn, did you see her booty? He's like, that's what I was trying to. We both looking at it because it's something that is obvious. It's nice. I'm like, hey, I need to ask her what she doing. I need to get on that workout plan because she banging. You know, like, I think more women would think on that line, like, if you wanted your man to not be attracted to anybody else, you wouldn't be with him. You know what I'm saying? If he didn't find other people desirable, then something is definitely wrong with him. He is probably gay, and you need to get rid of him immediately, you know, because he should desire other women. You should just provide everything that he needs, okay? If you're his complement, you're providing everything that he needs. However, he's always going to find other women attractive. Get over it. Get over that. Okay? I find other people attracted. I'm not out there fucking them.
So you mean you not in your feelings because I follow models on Instagram, or I like
What's
pictures?
wrong with that? Beauty, like
that's not.
That's something that's a desire.
According to people on Instagram, that's destroying our marriage. When I double tap,
there's nothing wrong with that. I double tap people all the time. People that we know, people we went to college with. I double tap people that are married that we went to college with. If it's a nice looking picture and he looks nice, I'm like, hey, fuck it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing wrong with that. What is wrong with it is when I'm dropping into their DMs, trying to ask them little questions like, you looking good, I'm checking you out. That's too far. That's when you've crossed the line. But there is nothing wrong with him following women that wear thongs and double tapping it. She got a nice ass booty in the thong. What's wrong with that? I have a nice ass booty in the thong too. I know whose thong he looks at every night. I know who he's going to bed with. He is not in the bed with her. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I'm not there, he's not trying to find this hoe to go double tap on her pictures. No, y'all are too much. Y'all are ruining your own relationships. Y'all, it's about your own self-esteem. If you don't believe you the shit, don't nobody else believe you the shit, okay? So you need to first do some reality check on yourself. Get yourself to where you want to be, because obviously you're not happy with yourself.